Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is the channel where I draw whatever I want. So today I'm going to be redrawing this drawing, which was drawn on lined paper as you can tell, and I'm going to be redrawing it digitally in Metabang Paint, so here we go. I first begin with a very rough sketch of what I want it to look like, using really basic shapes like ovals, circles, and squares. With my sketch, I use a really rough looking pen so it pops out more compared to the line art. After doing basic shapes, I add details like the nose, face, everything basically. Next, with the drawing, not only do I add the details, I add similar shapes and I do not add as many details, as this is simply just a sketch. Now onto the line art. I use a completely different pen that makes it smoother. I mainly use the regular pen because it gives a smooth, sharp outline. With my outlines, I make sure to have really round features and I don't really like having sharp lines. With the eyes, I couldn't decide how I wanted to do them. So I started out with the outline of the eye, with the eyelash and everything, and then I figured out how to do the eye. Zooming in and out is a really good tool to see how it looks compared to the rest of the drawing. I also had a lot of trouble with the mouth, so you'll see me go back and forth with how I like it to look. Add the little details on the mouth like the tooth gap and everything, and I go on to the other eye. I usually do this in whatever order I feel like because it just kind of helps me focus. Now I smooth up the eye by adding more lines and erasing down to a smoother point, and I add the other eye. I add the little heart in the eye as when I drew the original sketch, I had hearts in the eyes. Now with the rest of this, I just begin to simplify the shapes that I gave myself originally and add more detail. Now with the choker, I couldn't figure out for a while how I wanted it to look, so I gave it a really basic shape instead of the shape it had originally, as it helped me focus more on the liner than the actual necklace. Hands, I'm pretty sure everyone struggles with, so I gave it a really basic hand before I learned how to draw properly, I guess. Then I went on to the hair, added very floofy hair, because that's the best hair. With this hand, I decided I was going to have it closed palm with a peace sign, so I added all of the fingers and I basically added little details. And then when it came to doing the gloves, I struggled a little bit because I had to draw the circles, and then I went onto the arm, which looked pretty good. Now onto the glasses, I used the circle tool and I drew circles around the given eyes. I shrunk one to make sure that the perspective's proper, and I just went crazy, I guess. Then I went onto the outside ring, as I'm basing it off of this Nintendo picture. Now, I erased the inner lines so I can merge down my line art and keep my area clean, basically. I do lose track of the lines sometimes, so there may be like a little gap or whatever. So here I'm just erasing, and making sure everything looks clean. I don't merge down the glasses as I need to color underneath those, so it's easier just to keep it away. Now with this, I made a semi-transparent layer and I just drew underneath it. Now, her shirt is a parody of the Ghostbusters logo and I had a hard time with that. Now for the hair, she has a white highlight, so I just did a circle around the area and tried to figure out how to make that white grayish highlight pop out more, because I don't like having my drawings really saturated. So I give out more brighter colors just so I add really bright colors to change up instead of making it really saturated. So with the hair I had a hard time, so I made it like kind of dull brown so it makes the other colors pop out more. And I used a really dark green for the inner of the eye and a light olive green for the outside. Then I went on to doing the mouth, which I gave really basic pink colors. I used white for the gloves, the logo, and her choker, and I used a light gray for the top of her shirt. I actually have the shirt basically in real life, so I copied it off of there, and I added a blue jewel to her necklace. Then I went on to shading, which I use a multiply layer just so I can take the colors from the original layer and have them darkened but still bright enough. This helps me so it makes shading a bit faster, and it helps make sure that my colors aren't muddied. Now with this, it takes a bit because I have to eye drop the colors and then, put them down. But I use really basic cell shading techniques to draw. And I didn't really pay attention to where the light was coming from because it's just like a profile picture or whatever. It was really fun to draw. Just draw what you feel like. Come on, man. And I used blue to shade instead of gray to make sure it's brighter. And with this, I basically moved on a little bit and started working on lighting, which I use a screen layer for. With lighting, I like to give a lot of detail to the eyes and to the face. I give little blush marks, I guess you can call those. And with the hair, I give like a lighting to it because why not? And so with this, it's just basic shading and stuff. Now, with the face and everything, I didn't want the colors to become like really this color into this color into this color, so I just kept the shading on the face really basic, and I changed the opacity and merged down all my layers so I have one clean sheet so I can work on the background. Now with the background, I used a really basic checker pattern by using the line tool, and I just colored in the squares to make a pattern. And I used different colors, light blue and dark blue respectively, to color the background. Now here, with this, I just added little stars to the outside of the gold rim, as I wanted it to look really accurate to the official picture. And so I made sure to make the star look good. I am really bad at drawing stars, so I worked on just making the basic shape because not everything needs to be perfect, and I was proud of the star. So I put it where all of the stars should be, and so basically I went into the tool and made circles for the other parts of the gold outline. And for coloring this, as it will show, I used a pastel yellow, so when I shade, it pops out more. I used another multiply layer and I multiplied that yellow and darken it a bit so it gives more of a golden sheen. And then I blend that color as to make it look kind of golden. Using the blend tool's a bit hard, as sometimes it doesn't work as you intend, but this way you get a slight metallic shine. And then I go to another layer and I turn on the screen layer, which helps make it shiny. which basically lightens the base color and kinda just adds a bit of brightness to the color. And blend that in, and boom, you got a metallic sheen. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this speed drawing, and I hope to see you guys soon. I'll probably be uploading a bit more, as they're quite fun to make. Alright, see y'all around.